Forgiveness in sport. Well, joining us now are Mihir Bose, journalist and former BBC sports editor, Martha Kellner, chief sports reporter at The Guardian, and Harbir Singh, anti-doping team leader at London 2012. Martha, I'll start with you. You actually test athletes, don't you? Is it time to stop forgiving and actually bring in much harsher punishments?
I think there is this narrative about athletes, and particularly about the Gatlin case, but I think the intricacies of the case aren't always understood. For example, the first case, USADA, which is the United States Anti-Doping Agency, actually said there was no intent to cheat, and he did not cheat, but the International Association for Athletics Federation said that because he tested positive, he has to be banned. But we don't really get that part of the story. The other part of the story is with the second time he tested positive, he actually had 34 tests during that event prior to positive tests, and he was negative. But we don't hear that part of the story. We just hear he tested positive twice, he beat our hero, which is Usain. So the public opinion is that he's the bad guy.
But I mean the narrative when we see all these stories is that we think, oh well, they've done something wrong. But you're saying, you're on the coalface, and you're saying actually half the time they don't actually mean to break the rules.
I think we've got to look at it from a wider perspective, which is that they're human beings, this is their livelihood, and there's a bigger issue here, which is why are athletes doping, and not forgiving athletes isn't addressing that issue.
Is he a bit trusting? Emma, thanks. Are we in danger, Harbir, of letting athletes like Goldie down because we're not punishing people who test positive for banned substances enough?
Yeah, I don't think anyone is against introducing sanctions, whether that's monetary or whether that's legal, to athletes. I think the issue is that we're isolating sport, and we're kind of forgetting about the humanistic aspect, which is we're all human beings, we all can make mistakes, and we all would want to have a fair trial. We'd want to be able to demonstrate intent before we prosecute somebody or label somebody. And when we say that athletes really admit to cheating or doping offences, I agree with that, but I think, like anybody else, from a societal perspective, we would want to be innocent until proven guilty, and that is that grey area, and it's difficult to give everyone the same label.
Okay, let's turn away from